doing, guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Your thoughts on going into this one? Kind of, take us through what you're thinking, and starting with Drake all the way forward.
Yeah, I think Drake looked good yesterday. He's ready to go, so he'll be starting the game for sure. I'm excited to get another opportunity. Again, we talked about more opportunities for him to just continue to grow. This gives him an opportunity to go out and play a team we just played 2 weeks ago, have a good understanding of what they did in our game, and you see how well we respond in this game.
What's that like for you play calling too when it comes to a team you just faced 2 weeks ago?
Obviously they're going to show you one thing and maybe play something a little bit differently. We have to be ready for that. I thought they did a nice job in that first game of disguising, giving Drake different looks. I would expect to see some more of that as well. There is a lot of stuff that we're lucky enough we got to carry over we didn't use that we liked against the team. So the week of preparation should be smooth in that regard. But, I thought we played probably one of our best halves in the first half there. We just got to put two of those together.
Alex, you mentioned Drake will be starting for sure. Is the plan for him to play the whole game the way he
We're playing the game to win the game for sure. We'll see how it goes from that point. But, yes, that's the intent.
Gerard talked the other day about the possibility of going to Joe and seeing if he could do a situation like that. What's the level of faith you have?
I think he's done a great job all year. I mean, the stuff that he does on the scout team has been impressive. His ability to throw the ball, he's an elite passer in that regard. So we'll see. We have all three guys ready to go. We'll make that decision later in the week. But if he does get in there, I'm excited to see what he can do.
Alex, did Joe take any snaps with the starting unit for the second team yesterday in practice?
He took some snaps yesterday, yes.
What have you seen from him from day one to now?
Big, just I think his understanding of the system has grown. That along with his footwork, again, much like Drake, the young guys, when they come in, the teaching of the footwork and the timing of the pass game is critical, and I think he's made strides there as well.
One of the things that we saw from him over the course of the training camp was some inconsistencies when he came back. How was he good with that?
Really well, and I think it ties into the feet. A lot of the times guys get off, their footwork gets off, and the ball tends to sail or be short. So just cleaning up the footwork has allowed him to be a more accurate passer.
At this point this year, I think there's a lot of questions when teams only win 3 games about job security and coaches.
Sure.
I'm just wondering, for yourself, how do you do that? At this point, do you expect to be back, next year? And is it a distraction at all for you?
No, this is the business. We all signed up for this, and when you win 3 games, it's tough, obviously. And the thing that I can hang my hat on is that this team has played hard. There's not been any game where they've not put out their full efforts, and that's impressive. I know it's easy for a lot of teams, and I've been around teams that were out of the playoffs and kind of just cruised to the end. We're going to try to finish strong. We started fast. That was my message to them. We started fast with the win. Let's finish strong with the win at home in front of our crowd. But whatever happens after that, we'll see. I would love to be back. I really like the organization. I like our guys. I think there's stuff to build on there. But again, that's out of my control.
Alex, what's it mean to you past week alone that several players, Drake being one, Hunter Henry another, Antonio Gibson, have all come out in support of you and basically said it would be ridiculous if you weren't brought back?
That means a lot. Those are the guys you stand in front of every day, and I think they know my interest. They know how I feel about them, and I'm glad that those guys said that. I really do appreciate them. I do appreciate the work they put in all year. Again, I know it hasn't gone the way we wanted to, but the work ethic and those guys' love for each other hasn't wavered.
Alex, a few weeks ago, you talked about getting Drake through the season healthy. Against the Chargers, you took some big shots, including one, of course, that sent him in the eval.
Right.
Him to start in this game, how do you balance that first thought with putting him out there in this game in a competitive situation?
Absolutely. We got to go out and compete. We're trying to win the football game, so we'll have everything available there. He's got to do a better job, and we had this conversation. When you're on the sideline, you're not close to the sticks. You got to get out of bounds there. Unfortunately, he took a pretty good shot, was able to come back, but he's got to understand he's got to protect himself as well in those situations.
Alex, winding back the clock, when you interviewed or shortly thereafter, what was the expectation set for year one if you got the job? This is what we hope to achieve, knowing new quarterback, everything that was coming.
Sure. It's a lot of moving targets there. We wanted to establish a system first and foremost and get that taught, get the play style taught, how we're going to play here, moving forward. And then at that point, it was just a matter of, who were we going to draft at that position. We knew we were going to take a quarterback. We knew we had some holes, and we were going to have to fill those throughout the course of the year and through the next years. And but I think again, there were expectations to win more games than we did, and that's the unfortunate part.
Yesterday, Hunter Henry talked a little bit about carrying over a system from one year to another. For you, what's the value of doing that and having the same system?
Well, you could look at a lot of the quarterback development over the years, and the guys that have, the Hall of Fame guys that have been in systems that were similar to the same year after year after year, and that just builds that knowledge of you that you have in the system in many different levels. I think it's important for consistency and continuity, especially for younger players, and to stay within a system.
Alex, can you shed any light on, looking back that last game, why Ramondre Stevenson started? Were you told that the plan was?
Yeah, I mean, that I know Coach addressed that, and that was a coach's decision, and he has my full support in all of that. Ultimately, both of our backs need to do a great job of ball security, but I'll leave it at that.
Alex, whether it's in the offseason or during the season, how much emphasis do you put on trying to see what other teams are doing with similar offenses and trying to maybe take things and have them in your
Yeah,
system?
a lot, and that comes down to when you do the breakdowns of the opponents that you're playing. Oftentimes, we'll pick like offenses to see how our scheme, or what their adjustments were to our scheme. So many times we'll go and, hey, maybe Cleveland's up, or maybe the Tennessee Titans, similar run game. We'll pick those games to evaluate and break down. So quite often you're looking at other teams when you're doing that.
Alex, this is time of year where there's often reflection. Drake was in here yesterday. Was talking about, showed him something at like rookie camp or something, a play he made and how he's grown. I'm curious for you. You've been pretty honest and frank with us as a play caller in this role. How do you think you've grown, and where do you think maybe there are areas you can still?
Yeah, there's definitely growth. I mean, you grow in every season, regardless of your position. I think you gain knowledge throughout the course of the year, whether you're coaching quarterbacks, whether you're the quality control coach. It really doesn't matter. Your growth is every year, no matter what the position. Some of the things that I would like to take back are some of the bad calls that I made throughout the course of the year. Really starting with the fumble last week. That was a tough one. Put those guys in a tough spot. There's a handful of those in each game. You're like, man, I wish I'd have done something differently. So just, keeping that, again, the growth and the knowledge of where I messed up during the course of the year and how can I be better for that.
With that said, how much would you like at the end of the year, will you take a bucket and say bad plays, good plays, what did I learn, what can I do better? How much
I do it. Yeah, I do it in every game. So at the end of the game, I take my notes and I type in a bad play call here. I got to give the guys something better here. So I'll definitely look at those throughout the course of the season at the end of the year and say, where can I get better?
how much better do you think you can be next year at this play call?
I think, again, it's that continued growth for all of us, not just the players, but for the coaches as well.
Alex, have you seen defenses defend you down the stretch when there's sufficient tape on Drake? You have your identity built. Have you seen them defend you the last 3-4 games?
Yeah, there's definitely some rush patterns that encourage the quarterback to leave the pocket. I think teams will start to use with Drake. You start to see a little more spying of him to stop him from running, especially on third and medium. I've seen that from Buffalo last time we played him. So there's definitely changes to the defense, due to the film on Drake.
Are those things you'd say is fair next season? Like, okay, we got to find answers for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the coaching and the development and the growth. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Really, thank you. I wish, because I would be going to the Masters if I were.